2.5 million years ago, the world was a dangerous and unforgiving place. Early humans lived surrounded by predators, hunger, storms, and deadly rivers hiding ancient monsters beneath the surface. Every single day was a battle for survival. Deep in the prehistoric wilderness, one tribe stood near a massive river that stretched across the land like a giant serpent. The water looked calm and peaceful from above, but something terrifying moved silently underneath. The tribe had traveled for days, searching for food and clean water. Children were weak with hunger, and the hunters carried only crude wooden spears tipped with stone. The river seemed like hope. Fresh water flowed endlessly, and fish jumped near the surface. But the oldest hunter in the tribe refused to step closer. He stared at the dark water with fear in his eyes. Years earlier, he had seen the river take people without warning. As the sun began to set, strange ripples formed across the muddy surface. Birds suddenly flew away from the trees. The jungle became silent. One young hunter slowly walked toward the water, holding a spear. He knelt near the edge and reached down carefully. The moment his fingers touched the water, a violent splash exploded upward. A giant prehistoric crocodile burst from beneath the river. Its jaws were enormous, lined with sharp yellow teeth powerful enough to crush bone instantly. The beast grabbed the hunter's arm and dragged him screaming into the water. Blood spread across the river while the tribe shouted in terror. The monster twisted violently beneath the surface, performing a deadly death roll. Then everything became quiet again. Only bubbles remained. The tribe backed away in fear. Mothers pulled their children close, while hunters raised flaming torches toward the darkness. But the old hunter knew the truth. The river did not contain one monster. It was full of them. That night nobody slept. The sound of moving water echoed through the jungle while glowing eyes. Around 5 million years ago, prehistoric Earth was filled with terrifying predators unlike anything alive today. Vast jungles covered the land. Giant beasts roamed freely, and early humans struggled every day to survive nature's brutal challenges. Among the deadliest places in this ancient world were rivers. To prehistoric humans, rivers provided life. They offered drinking water, fish, and a path through dangerous wilderness. But rivers also hid terrifying predators waiting silently beneath the surface. In one prehistoric region, a small tribe approached a massive muddy river during the dry season. Exhausted after days without proper water, they believed they had finally found salvation. Children rushed toward the edge while hunters searched for fish. But hidden below the surface was one of the most feared predators of the ancient world, a giant crocodilian predator. These prehistoric reptiles were larger and stronger than modern crocodiles. Their powerful jaws could crush bone instantly, while their armored skin made them nearly impossible to kill using primitive weapons. Unlike land predators that could be seen from a distance, river predators attacked without warning. The tribe's oldest hunter noticed strange signs immediately. The water was too still. Birds avoided the riverbanks. Even insects seemed absent. The hunter warned the tribe to stay back, but hunger and thirst pushed them closer. Suddenly, movement disturbed the muddy surface. Tiny waves spread outward in silence. Then came the attack. A massive crocodile launched itself from beneath the water with explosive force. Its jaws snapped shut around a young hunter before anyone could react. Panic spread instantly. The victim screamed while being dragged beneath the surface. The predator began spinning violently underwater, using a deadly technique still used by crocodiles today, the death roll. Bones cracked beneath enormous pressure. Within seconds, the river turned red. The tribe retreated in terror. The little boy was thirsty. For 2 days, his tribe had walked through burning heat beneath the prehistoric sun. Their mouths were dry, and even the strongest hunters struggled to continue moving. Then finally, through the trees, they heard the sound of flowing water. A river. The tribe rushed forward with hope in their eyes. Children smiled for the first time in days, while exhausted mothers carried babies toward the riverbank. But one old hunter stopped suddenly. Something felt wrong. The jungle around the river was silent. No bird sang. No animals drank nearby. Even the wind felt cold. Still, the tribe needed water. The little boy walked carefully toward the edge and looked into the muddy surface. He could not see the danger hidden below him. To him, it was only water. But deep beneath the river, an ancient predator watched silently. The giant crocodile barely moved. Only its eyes remained above water as it waited patiently. It had hunted this river for years. It understood fear. It understood weakness. And now it saw hungry humans. Suddenly, one hunter stepped into the water holding a spear. He moved slowly, searching for fish beneath the surface. The tribe watched quietly from shore. Without warning, the river exploded. The monster burst upward with terrifying speed. Giant jaws snapped shut around the hunter's body. His scream echoed through the jungle as he disappeared beneath the muddy water. The little boy froze in terror. Blood spread across the river while the predator twisted violently underwater. Hunters shouted and threw spears uselessly into the water. Mothers grabbed children and ran backward screaming. Then silence returned. The river became calm again. As night arrived, fear spread through the tribe. Nobody dared approach the water. Fires burned along the shoreline while hunters watched the darkness carefully. But glowing eyes continued appearing near the surface. The predators were still there. The next morning, the tribe faced a terrible choice. 2.5 million years ago, survival was not guaranteed. The earth belonged to monsters, and humans were weak creatures fighting against a brutal world. Every forest hid predators. Every shadow carried danger. But nothing terrified prehistoric tribes more than the rivers. Because beneath the calm surface, something ancient waited. A small tribe moved through the dense jungle after weeks of starvation. Their bodies were thin, their skin covered in mud and scratches. Children cried from thirst while hunters searched desperately for water. Then finally, they heard the sound of a flowing river. Hope returned. The tribe rushed toward the water, believing their suffering was finally over. Sunlight reflected across the muddy surface while fish jumped in the distance. It looked peaceful, safe, but one experienced hunter stopped walking. His eyes narrowed toward the river. He noticed strange signs immediately. No animals stood near the water. No birds landed on the shore. Even the jungle itself seemed frozen in fear. Slowly, he whispered a warning. Stay back. But thirst was stronger than fear. One young hunter stepped forward carrying a wooden spear. He crouched near the riverbank and reached toward the water carefully. The moment his hand touched the surface, everything changed. Boom! A giant prehistoric crocodile exploded from beneath the river with terrifying force. Water blasted into the air as massive jaws snapped around the hunter's shoulder. His scream echoed through the jungle. The tribe panicked instantly. Women grabbed children and ran backward while hunters raised spears helplessly. The monster dragged the man into the muddy depths. Beneath the surface, the crocodile began spinning violently. The death roll. Bones cracked. Blood spread across the river. Then silence returned. Only ripples remained moving across the dark water. Fear spread through the tribe. Nobody dared move closer. The hunters stared into the river, realizing the horrifying truth. The PR.